been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or he'll in jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. 'Cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee, da-dee, a fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go!
It's Mab. I am here in my studio alive. The lab is labbing so hard right now. I don't know if you noticed, but it is the ramp up of festival season. As weather gets a little bit warmer, more and more fairs and festivals and events pop up like mushrooms. It's how we do. Hey, VLF, thanks so much for tuning in today. I have so many things on my mind. It feels as though my skull may crack open. Of course, lesser folks may just assume it's allergies, but I'm pretty sure it's the size of my brain growing from being overstuffed and not being able to properly process everything. So, yeah, here I am with my little shaky camera. Settle down there, camera. So come up to the lab and see what's up with that. Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. Let's talk. I want to just give you kind of a quick overview of some of the events that I have that I will be in person vending at in the near future. I'm going to say this month, which is April, is going to be pretty darned packed. So I have a high school fair, craft fair that's like across the street from my house, and I can't say no to that. That's going to be brilliant. I'm just going to go there, show up, and see what people who don't go to the weird events that I normally go to would be interested in buying. So sometimes they like to buy interesting things, and we'll see. I've never done like one of these, high school craft fair events, local craft shows. I've never done one. So I don't really know what to expect. I'm kind of curious. I want to see how it flies. We'll see. But incidentally, this is April 11th, which incidentally is also Yuri's night. So I have a standing commitment to perform at a Yuri's night party. I don't know. I think Yuri's night parties are all over the country. Everybody does their own version of Yuri's night. To celebrate the first man who successfully, thank you, Justin Guy from Tennessee, for clarifying this. Not the first man into space, but the first man to successfully go into space and come back alive. Real important distinction there. So that's April 11th. That's a twofer. Pew, pew, pew. And then April 17th through 19th, I was double booked, and I just was trying to work out how I could do it. One of them was Pose Magic Convention, which is in Baltimore, and the other is the Telltale Steampunk event. Now, I had to bow out because there was realistically no way of doing both, and it pains me and breaks my heart. If you are in Baltimore, if you are a magic person, I definitely highly recommend attending the Pose Magic Conference in Baltimore. It's an amazing event full of really talented individuals. And I would love to see this event grow bigger and be more diverse and more expanded and everything. But it just really wasn't in the cards. And I tried so hard to make it a possibility, because the other event, which is in York, which is pretty close to Baltimore, is the Telltale Steampunk event. And I've been working back and forth with the event producers there. And they're one of the first places that I pitched my cranky booth. And I'm teaching a cranky workshop, and I'm really, it's a storytelling steampunk event. Like, if that's not a cranky positive event, then I don't know what is. So yeah, I'm really going to be I'm going to be the cranky ambassador there, which yay. So yeah. I just, yeah, that would be great. Just to oh, just some guy. Basically, yeah, I kind of did. I kind of really did. I'm like, look what I can do. And I just start sucking booth business at them. I'm like, look what I can do. This is awesome. So yeah, kind of guilty of that. But I'm really excited about that. And then May 3rd is the Frederick, Maryland punk rock flea market. And interestingly enough, Frederick, Maryland is closer to my house than Baltimore by geography, because you have the Potomac River that separates Maryland and Virginia. But maybe as the crow flies, I think even as the crow flies, Frederick is closer. But I'm closer to the bridge, the Western Bridge, that's Point of Rocks bridge that goes over the Potomac than I am the one that's on 495. So I have to go all the way in, go over that bridge, go up and around the Beltway, and then kind of this weird triangle to get to Baltimore. Or I just kind of go straight up to Frederick. So Frederick is a little bit closer than Baltimore. I'm looking forward to testing out this new market. Punk rock flea markets are totally my jam. It's where I live. The rest of the year, I have events kind of coming in. I have to kind of be a little bit more aggressive and proactive and kind of get on the booking thing again. It is a burden. Like, this is the joy of self-employment. Like, you're making things, you're promoting things, you're marketing things, you're selling things, you're polishing things up, and it's not just making things. Like, I've got the idea, I want to make these things, and I'm still in the lab all the time prototyping. Which, would you guys like to see some of my prototypes that I worked out this week? I've been making things. So for folks who tuned in on the crafting show, know that I've been working on the Loom Hemo, which is a loom version to make things that round loom. And then I realized I had an even number of notches. I just saw that. Yeah, it basically is. The Potomac is the great divider here in the DMV area. And me too, VLF, me too. You don't want to see that. Actually, I've seen that. It's really hot. Sexy George Washington, very hot. So when I made my first loom, I made it with an even number of notches, and it wasn't working. Boo. Like, duh, I kind of knew that. So yesterday I made another loom prototype, and it works great. It's fantastic. And I don't have any Kumihimos handy, but the Kumihimo fits perfectly here. So when I cut this out, I can also cut a Kumihimo out to go with it. Like, so it's a forever paired item. There are modifications that I'm looking to make just to make this easier for everybody, because once I get the loom is cut out, the loom works. So, things I want to do is add numbers to the loom, right? So like this part one, this thing under here is going to say 1, and then this is going to say 2. And then as you look back there, you can see you go behind it and then come out, and this will be 3. So I'll have some kind of indicators here, because warping the loom is in fact the hardest part. And I'll have all the numbers so that people know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And you go, oh, okay. So you go back behind this one, and little arrows on the thing. I can engrave it to say whatever I want. I may as well make this as easy as possible and as accessible as possible to people. So this was me testing to see if the loom can handle the tension, and if the warping is good, and the loom can, and the warping is good. So the next step is to decide what I want to engrave on it. Right now, this is 3mm basswood. I think this is like a maple basswood, but it's still 3mm. It's pretty thin. This is a 3mm MDF. It's a little bit stronger, but this one doesn't seem like it's gonna snap. I was kind of worried, but like, I might try in the future to make it out of a sturdier material, but I like how thin it is here. So, all right, just some guy. Don't make me come all the way out to Tennessee and slap you, because you are crossing a line. And in just a little bit, you're absolutely going to see my passion for fonts. Yeah, I can decorate it any way you like. People can paint them. They can... That's true. I will say Comic Sans is great but there are other fonts that are very specifically designed, not accidentally designed for dyslexics. So you want to come to the font town? You want to go to font town? I'll take you to font town. Ask me how many fonts I got. Many fonts. I have too many fonts. And how do I know I have too many fonts? Because the other project that I was working on, and I kind of prototyped yesterday, I'm thinking of things that I can sell at. We are going to go there today, I assure you. I was looking at things that I can sell at the high school fair, right? And so it's like, I want to, of course, I'm going to have the Crankies and the Kumihimos. And if I keep my crap together in time, I will have this ready to go. This is almost ready for production. And then the other like stupid craft thing is plant tags. These are like housewife things. And here, let me see if I can use my maker cam here and get a better view of it. It says, "Here lies my best effort." And then, a lot of them say that. This one's my favorite. I tried. And then this one says, "I made this with my love." Now, the problem with bamboo is the different textures and densities of wood make it variable with the darkness. So this says, "I believe in you, little green guy." And so those are the 4 different designs. So I made a stack of plant tags that are these 4 different designs. And I, I'll sell them, but I've got to figure out how to make them darker. These are like the initial prototypes. There is like a little wood burning. I think it's just a matter of using like a borax solution of getting them wet. And I thought about paint and stain. Right, exactly. So it's I don't want it to take too long. I want to be able to sell these for like $1 or $2 or whatever. And just kind of make a thing that people, because like some of them are really dark, right? Because it's the way the bamboo is, and some of them look like they burned. Yeah, there is a substance, but here's the thing: it is actually engraved. So if you can see, it does cut into the bamboo, but some parts of the bamboo are like, this might be one of the lighter ones, but you can see that. So you got here 2 different versions. It's from the same laser batch, right? So why is some of it darker is because of the bamboo, right? So it's what the tags were. I got them. They came as part of a kit for something. I'm not super happy with them. I'll put them out. We'll see if they sell. We'll see. So I've got to look at what I can do if I wish to continue this. And again, these are just like draft 1. We're going to see where these go. So, yeah, that's a thing. And I had to wash them because there was soot. And I'm thinking that too. An all over wash might work. I don't know. I'm going to take a couple of them, and like you can see here, the different variations. But they are bamboo. They are plant stakes. I am considering stain. But I have to do a test before I do it to all of them, obviously. We'll see if any of that works. So Here I am. So that was like yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday was a lot. Wednesday was a lot. There were a lot of moving pieces yesterday. Yeah, that's true. What are test batches for? So those were made yesterday. A ridiculous amount of time was spent trying to decide the font. I really am in font town right now. And so yeah, I'm going to show you what my big font project is, but first I wanted to show you, do a quick tour of last month's rather, ACEOs, my art card editions, and just, do a quick tour of what I've made in the past month. It's the wood heart. This is, I call this Tide Pool. I made this when I was up at the yarn crawl. And this one is another variation, and it is called Flower Buttons. I don't know. And yeah, that's all right. I kind of like it a lot. This one I really like. This one, I don't remember where. I guess that was in February. I didn't realize that. But this one I really like. It's like kind of reminds me of like a ghost in one of those old-fashioned old lady houses that had the cheesy little, it's like the Nowhere Man. And then there's this one that I want to call Coin. VLF said that they really liked it, and I'm like, okay, thank you. It's a very simple piece, but she wants a little bit more, but I kind of, when you're holding it in reality, like into physical space, when you're holding it in physical space, I think it's done. Like, I'm fascinated by all the different layers it has when you're moving it around. And sometimes it looks unfinished, and sometimes it looks finished, and sometimes it looks like it's got this cool dimension, and sometimes it looks like it's popping in a different way. So yeah, I'll give this to you. We'll talk. We'll talk. It'll be included with stickers. I did not write a date on this, and I'm embarrassed because I actually, at first I was like, what is this? And then I'm like, I really like that. Oh, I am so busted. Get out of my mind. I really like this. It looks like a graffiti Madonna, like there's like a little face, but there's like little ears and the little heart symbol and the hands clasped in front of them, like they're sitting on a pillow, or those are their feet. And then there's like a picture frame, but this, like, the dots on the line kind of look like bunting. I don't know. I really like this one. It makes no sense. And then these are some that I did in the last couple of nights because I realized I've been so busy working in the studio and just overwhelmed with taxes and studio and everything and shows that I kind of neglected. And I was like, hey, I've got this idea. So this one is obviously about keyholes. It's called the keyhole. And it's got these little keyholes in the border. The keyhole has keyholes. I tried to give it like a little texture dimension, and I realized that this keyhole looks like a little face now. So we'll see. It's cute. I like it. And then this one is the mermaid that I wanted to make. This one is a good mermaid. I don't like the other mermaid I did. She's gorgeous. Look at that. Hair looks like seaweed. There's motion. You can kind of feel it. Yes, thank you. Not a lot of metallics, but I did use like a little glitter, hint of glitter. A little hint of glitter in the markers, so you can kind of see. It's hard to, the light, I'm not able to quite get the reflection. You can kind of see a little bit of it. You're adorable, VLF. And then this was last night as I was trying not to fall asleep. I wanted to do like another abstraction, and I don't hate it. I am having a hard time visualizing where the camera is. So what do you think? I like it. So these are the past month's, a little bit more than a month, art cards, because I've been slacking on the card art. So the big honking huge mega super duper musical. Have fun. Enjoy the show. So this is the big honking mega super duper massive project that I am trying to do. And I am trying to build a cranky scroll for my booth, right? So this is the little window, and I made like a little window slider so that you can kind of visualize how it slides across. This scroll is 120 inches by 18 inches. So 18 inches high and 120 inches long. And it's that long. I would ideally like it to be 240. But I cannot afford that, unfortunately. Boo. But I'm not great at interpreting things, like making scrolls that are something other than text. And font, I've been lost in font hell for the bulk of the day today, trying to figure out how I want the fonts to go. I don't know, right? So help me out. I would love to kind of like get feedback from folks and see what you guys think. So here's what I'm going to share this window here so that you can see. I sketched everything out, and let me remove this, stop sharing, and then add this, share screen, window, Chrome tab, drive. There we go. So this is, and I guess I think I need to add it to the studio. This is the hand sketch of the scroll that I did, right? So it's like the crafty carny. I make things. There's some illustrations of like me making things. I don't know what that'll be. Little says that make things, with a little scroll that leads to the cord weaving fidget, Hemo, Matchbox cranky kit with a little cranky, and a little guy says, I made this. And then what is a cranky? You're doing it now. This is a cranky, which I really like the idea of that frame. And then just keep scrolling. And then many more wonders and surprises can be found at the Crafty Carney. And then the last thing would say, be kind, rewind, little boop. And then, yeah. So that's what I have sketched out. And I would love any kind of feedback on that. So let me know, like, does anybody have any ideas? So let me share back to the Illustrator where I'm sitting here. Like, what is a cranky? Like, since it's 120 versus 240, I'm going to have to kind of condense. And I'm like, okay, now that I'm looking at these things, I'm like, I am not a huge fan of this font. Okay, so let's look at the fonts and pick another character because there's like a million fonts. I could sit here and do this font thing all day. Does anyone have any font programs that are really good at helping me do a quick thumb through of fonts so I can find the one that is the thing that I want? Like I want something like that's too cliche. I like an upper and a lowercase in my font. That's going to be too hard to read. And I think my other font's going to be too hard to read too. I am a huge fan of this particular font, Atlantic Cruise, but it's not the right one for this. Okay, yeah, I like the retro style of that, but that's the wrong genre era. I'm, you know, I like the vintage Victorian style, like copper plate or, and then I start, as I'm thumbing through fonts, I'm only on B's right now. As I'm, oh, Big Low Rules. Is this the font? Big Low Rules. Is this the font? What do you guys think? And then kind of shrink it down. Right? But then there needs to be some kind of illustration to go around it. You want a 6 foot tall. So here's how you make a 6 foot tall cranky scroll. You can either use Tyvek, blank Tyvek, which is very durable. You can use paper, like photo backdrop paper, if you've ever seen that. It's not very durable, but it comes in a big roll. It can be 10 feet, 12 feet, 6 feet, whatever. Somewhere in my life, I ended up with somebody was cleaning out their studio and they gave me one of their big giant photo backdrop rolls. It's like a big paper thing. It's literally a massive roll of paper. It's a little sturdier. It's like kind of like a heavier cardstock that's like still bendable, I guess. I don't know. It's big. But for my scroll, what I'm going to do is I am sending it to a banner printer. It is going to be printed on canvas, and then I'm going to sew pipe pockets on the short ends, either end, and then slide a pipe in there. It's sewn on the bottom, slide a rod in there like a dowel or something, and put it through these notches that I have cut in the scroll thing. So it's only cut down to here, right? So this is how tall. Whoop, let me make sure here. Yep, this is only 18 inches long. But the canvas can't be any longer than 18 inches. Yeah. So that's kind of, it's a lot, like a lot of things to think about. And I don't know what kind of font situation I got to have going on here. Excuse me, hiccup. Font McFontertons. So, excuse me. all right. Okay. I had to check a thing and make sure that I was doing the thing right. So let me add this back to the stage. So what do you think of that font? That might be the one because it's got like this nice retro feel of like like kind of a perky 1950s because the screen is a giant TV. Yeah, I think that might be the font. I was kind of going in another direction, but I was like, that's Biglow Rules. Let me set that up. Biglow Rules. Change every font on here to Biglow Rules. Yeah, I want Biglow Rules because it rules. Of course, I'll have to adjust the spacing on everything because different fonts have. So this is the thing that's going to take me for friggin' ever that I am willing to give somebody a ton of money to do on my behalf. And there's just if you guys remember that time I did a demo of like what I do when I get a commission and all the stuff that it's involved, it's just, it takes forever for me to get every little tiny detail. Maybe I don't know. So yeah, this is the thing that this is where I am in my lab right now. Anyway, am I going to have this done in time for the Telltale Steampunk event? You're asking the good questions now. I don't know. The goal is to definitely have it done by then, because if I can show up with this booth that's gonna just blow their little minds, then I'm in like Flynn, because I talked up a big game about the booth. So we will see. Let me check what some of my other projects are. So, yeah. All right. So here's another thing. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I left this tab open. It's going to kind of blow your mind. Click. Boom. Okay. Be cool. I know this is a lot. What this is I have a project where I want to do a silk screen. And I want to do a silk screen emulsion, a photo emulsion. And I also have, so this is a 8.5 by 11 here. This is 2.5 by 3.5. So that's the art card size, right? So if I make little silk screens for the art cards, I can start doing the things there, right? And then this is an 8 by 10, and I have a set of frames that are already done at 8 by 10. Now the one, this is a 3D printed silk screen machine that I think I was going to tell you about, just some guy. If I have not yet already. I think I shared the source of the STL on there. So it's a silk screen, 3D printed silk screen machine. And what I need to do is I have the silk screen material. I have the little frame, and So if I do a photo emulsion of one of these guys, like the palm hand or the Jenny Havener, this is for the folks who don't know, this is called a Jenny Havener. It's a also known as a sea devil, and it is one of the earliest sideshow gaffs, earliest recorded sideshow oddities gaffs, and it was just a skate, it's basically like a stingray, but a skate that's all cut up and made to look like a sea devil, like this guy. Anyway, so I thought this was cool. This is going to make a great silk screen. This is my still beating heart. And if I silk screen this and then color in, all the things, I can paint it up. And then the cool thing is I was going through my stuff and I started finding all of these really cool clip art pieces that I have just been collecting for 25 to 30 years. I found some old hard drives of mine that were snapshots of old laptops. Look at this. It's like a skull with a skull mug with a rat coming out. I love it. It is awesome. Really nice hands, Janus head, just some really beautiful illustrations. Look, it's like a little rabbit toy. I don't even know. And then there's some of these vintage styles. A Welsh. Oh, that's a cockatrice right there. And like these cool multi-headed monsters. It's a frog cat. Little demons. Grotesques. A lot of these are old illustrations found from books that I don't even know where I got. I collected them a million years ago. Some of them, they don't even make this file type anymore. This is Death from, looks like one of the ones from a Klimt painting. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I love this. This kind of distracted me from the font problem, but in a perfect world, here's what I'm thinking I might do is I want to engrave these. So I have been engraving things on tile. I did it for briefly. I did a couple of tests to see how it would come out. And so like this is a engraved on a slate tile, ceramic tile. And this one's like, this one's a raw finish. And then this one is a gloss finish. And you can see how it etched in there. This was an early test of it. You can see, my little tests panel here. And then the one that I love the most is the two-headed baby skeleton, which is like right here. And so it's like I can make these tiles. This is gorgeous too. If you look at it, it's raised up. I don't know if you can tell. It's raised up. So it's got this nice tactile experience. So then, do I engrave tiles? Because I've got these steampunk events, and any one of these images would rock the shit out, be like super awesome at a steampunk event. Is that what I should do? Should I do it as a steampunk kind of artwork, or do you think there's something else I could engrave, or should I make like stickers out of these, or silk screen fabric hankies and bandanas or banners or pillowcases, or if it's a bigger silk screen, I can engrave it using my laser. My laser has a silk screen function. You buy the engravable silk screen that fits into the... Hey, Evelyn, thanks for coming out. yeah, so I am, I will say, photo emulsion silkscreen is very common, uh, but it intimidates TF out of me, and I don't know why. I'm too scared, too chicken, too something, I've done it once successfully. I did a bunch of silkscreen bags for Mr. Garbanzo for one of his rent adventures. Even my dice are extra bags. I silkscreened them up, and they were really cute. And then I don't know, like silkscreen or engrave. And if I'm engraving it, what should I engrave? What would be a cool thing to engrave for the steampunk audience? Metal plates, make it look like a metal etching on a plate, like a steel, that's not a terrible idea. But the engraving would have to be black. So it'd have to start silver and then go black. I'll have to find some medium that I could use. And it wouldn't take very long to do the engraving. Pendants. I have pendants. I already have a jig made up for my pendants. You guys are brilliant. Okay, you're saying stickers, just some guy. Sepia tone, not just white. Of course, I would do a little bit more tea stained or something. Not too much, maybe, but just a little bit antique-y. But yeah, let me write this down. Medallions. That's not a bad idea. I mean, they're not very big, so I'll have to be simplified. The medallions are about this big, already with a hole in them. Yeah, I'll make some test ones up. Oh yeah, I'm not going to throw gears on stuff. So here's the funny thing. One of these folders that I found was literally called Steampunk. And it is from, when did I save these files originally? Do I have a date on that? Uh, 2007 is when I originally got some of these files. Looks like, nope, this one's from 2004. Like I said, this wasn't really old. So these are like 20 some years old. So apparently I was steampunk 20 some years ago, which is surprising to no one because I really actually was kind of into the steam and the punk and it made sense to me, you know? And even then I was not like, just stick a gear on it and it's steampunk. Now it appealed to the DIY nature that is me. Hey, Mr. York, are you going to the Tale Steampunk Festival? I know you are a steampunker as well. I don't know how involved you are recently, but I know that you have done it in the past. So I am thinking not so much that I want to sell these. Again, nothing that I make is a thing. That's not entirely true. The plant tags, no, actually, that I still stand by it. I don't make things that are just things to sell. I make things because I think they're cool and I want the world to have them. Even, I made this with my love I believe in you, little green guy. I tried. And here lies my best effort. Plant tags. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're not going to be at the Telltale. If you know of other steampunk festivals where I can go peddle my wares, do holler and let me know. I would love to spread the cranky joy across the universe. And I don't want to be humping tiles because they are heavy. But I do love these. Maybe I'll make a commission for them on the website. I'll be like, hey, are you getting your bathroom redone? Nobody's doing that right now. But on the off chance they are, and you want unique tiles to slip in, I can decorate these tiles for you with any one of these patterns. But I think medallions might be the way to go. They travel well. I already have little pouches to keep them in. I already have something of like a jewelry display. It's the big frame with the lights on the inside for the sparkle bobs, the intro sparkle bobs. So I already have that set up. And I'm now down to, I think, 3 or 2 sparkle bobs left out of the original 15. Wow, that's crazy. But oddity, I'm going to call them odd medallions. Medallions, odd medallions. Ooh, oddallions. Because everything's got to have a funky name. Oddallions. What do you think? Is it too much? Look, if it's worth doing extra. That's my philosophy. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it just over the top. I stand by that. Yes, I knew you guys would help me think of things. You were awesome. Thank you. So, yeah, I have a lot of work that I'm doing right now. Moving everything forward, getting things. Oh, that's brilliant too. If I get a silk screen for the still beating hand design, then I can make this this guy here. Then I can make my little still beating magnets. Interesting. You've been talked into making your husband some leather Ren Fair boots. Well, that surprises me not, because you keep making amazing leather goods, Evelyn. This is on you, man. I know you can't suck even if you want to. There's times that sometimes I want to just like phone it in. And then the time comes, and then here I am. I'm like, ooh, I've got this idea of all these things that I want to make in a very short period of time. Not to mention, we are here on Nat 21 Adventures, the channel that hosts shows all week. So for the folks who are not familiar with our Twitch channel, twitch.tv Nat 21 Adventures, we started playing D&D during the pandemic, in the early days of the pandemic. A lot of Ren Fair performers were looking for something to do. They needed a place, an outlet, something to reach out to people, to communicate, to generate revenue, just to be out and about. And so Paulo Garbanzo collected some of his favorite nerd D&D Ren Fair performers, and we started playing Nat 21 Adventures because our dice go to 21. Now, the channel has been around since 2020. So here it is, 2026. and we have shows almost every day during the weekday. So Monday, Tuesday's like, yeah. And then Wednesday, yes, crafting show. Thursday is like our gothic horror. And then the monthly show, which cycles out the first Monday of the month, or first Thursday of the month, it's Mad Labs, which is, here you are, you've joined us. And then I think Fridays we have off. But Oink the Troll King has made themselves known. Oink the Troll King. Where I'm going with this is, so Paulo's been traveling and just been overcommitted, and we haven't had the original Tuesday night games in a while. And here it is. We are doing one final season of Paulo Garbanzo running D&D on a Tuesday night. And we are featuring a book that was written by Cameron from Barely Balanced. And we are kind of test playing content that's been written by Paulo in an upcoming book that he hopes to be publishing. And yeah, I don't think the crafting show has skipped once. And honestly, we were talking about it off camera the other day, how the crafting show is the most regular thing in a lot of our lives right now. We know that every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern, whatever it is down the line, someone will be here on Nat 21 Adventures, twitch.tv/Nat21 Adventures, making things and talking trivia and talking dice and talking things and talking about making things in color and art. That's not going anywhere. The thing that is going somewhere is we're running one final season of D&D on Tuesday nights. So it is the final run of Paulo running D&D on a Tuesday night. And it's sad to kind of think about it. You know, we did it for years, and then the past year it was off and on. It was hit or miss. We couldn't find someone to take up the slack when Paulo was not available, and then we were like, well, we'll just not do it. And it's hard to say no. We're gonna have to stop, but all things evolve. Yeah. And this is kind of what's happening. Is I know the Patreon Saints game has ended, and I know the Tuesday night game has ended, and it's just kind of where we've evolved to. But so many amazing things have come out of Nat 21 Adventures, not the least of which is the crafting show, honestly, and hanging out and meeting some of these incredible people like Evelyn. And we have our Discord where we still talk. I think I'm doing it right. We still have our Discord, and you can go to our Discord and we will talk crafting and we will talk nerd stuff and we will talk, and it's not a matter of us being more successful, or it's just kind of where we are with the schedule. When we originally did it, we didn't have 1 million shows a year to do. We were in a different physical place. Like the world was something different. And now the world is what it is. And we do need entertainment, but a lot of the entertainment now is Ren fairs in person. And I'm doing festivals and events, and I had tried to retire. I actually retired from performing in 2020 before the official pandemic announcement happened. I was in New Orleans, and I'm like, hey guys, this is going to be my last formal official thing. And yeah, I've still had a few other performances since then, but I'm for the most part done performing. I say that, and then now here I am. I'm going to all of these festivals, and I'm on the road all the time. And I was one of the few people that were able to hold down the fort before. But when I lost my job last year, which is another fun perk of the economy, I had to kind of do more hustle and do more of these things. So this is kind of where we are. I'm still going to be doing my monthly Tuesday Mad Lab or my monthly Thursday Mad Labs. That's not going anywhere. We're still doing the crafting show every Wednesday, 12:30 Eastern. Not going anywhere. We're still doing Lady Prue is still doing modern music with Lady Prue on Monday nights. Shakespeare is still doing his sonnets. I'm not sure which day that got moved to. I think it's Tuesday, but it might be Thursday. It's either Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah. Thank you. That's kind of exactly what's going on. Thank you. I thought it was Tuesday. I was pretty sure it was Tuesday. And then I'm not sure where Gothic Horror Gaming and Phantasmagoria. I know that they have a kid, and they didn't have a kid when they started. So, yes. And it is clear Mayor Finkel was framed 100%. I went to definitively prove that in the Patreon Saints game. There were no questions about how framed he was. But he still got away with it. You guys, I love you so much. So here we are. I just kind of had to give you guys an update. And say, hey, Referee Zombie. He was so framed. So framed. Well, that's true. You got what we see. This is why I love this. You guys are so amazing. So we're not going anywhere, but we're going somewhere else. We have one final season of D&D run by Paulo Garbanzo. Do not miss this show. It's like if your favorite Ren Fair performers were sucked into a D&D world. That's kind of what's going to happen. I can't wait. So yeah, oh my gosh. So yeah, I've been working on my costume. So you guys inspired me. She's gonna be a noblin. She's a gnome goblin hybrid. Don't ask. These are important facts. All right. So on that note, I want to say thank you again for all of your support, and thank you so much for encouraging crafty behavior. I could not do this. Well, I don't think I could have done. I don't think I could have gotten this far as I have without you and your support and your encouragement and doing this show and sitting here talking about these brain ideas and going, I got this idea, and then you're like, and I'm like, I don't think it'll work, and then you're like, well, what about? And I'm like, God, you guys are brilliant, and you just help me break out of this like hyper focus thing. So thank you so much. Thank you again. And I love you all so much. And if I don't see you sooner, I'll be back next month with hopefully a fully functioning Death Cranky. Okay, it's just going to be a regular Cranky, but making it sound like a Death Cranky sounds much more intimidating. Mega Cranky. This fully operational Cranky Booth. Ha 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 ha. Oh, Shingawaga solo. So I will see you further down the road. And I want to say thank you all so much. And I love you. Stay crafty. And thank you for encouraging crafty behavior. See you on the Discord.